Yo, what's happening? Merry Christmas, everybody. I've been missing y'all the last couple days. How's everybody doing? How's things going? I heard it's been crazy, crazy on these YouTube streets. As always, you ain't missing shit. Because when you come back, it's going to be just as crazy and the shit ain't going nowhere. It's all still here, you know? All the craziness is still here. So I got the link pinned. It should be pinned. Oh, shit. Patty gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the Hive. Been Dreamin' gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Been Dreamin'. I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you for supporting the Hive. Of course, it's terrible. We got somebody, we got people praying for y'all. Anybody that belongs to the Hive, you got prayers. Not that you want them, but you got them. Hey, B-Tim, what's up? Merry Christmas, man.
I'm good. How's things going with you, Queen?
Good. Been busy as hell for like 2-3 days fucking straight, nonstop running. I'm glad to be done for a little bit,
Okay, cool.
How have you been?
Oh, the usual, just chilling, relaxing on my vacation. So,
you know what though? That's got to be a good ass vacation. Just, you know what I mean? Be able to chill for a little bit and not have to run to work every single day early as hell,
Yeah, I take off this time around. Like I basically take off from like the 20th to the 2nd of the new year. I just say fuck it. I travel and shit like that. So on the road right now, the usual.
So yeah, I was gonna say I heard it's been kind of crazy. I heard it's been pretty.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people.
And I heard well, I know you don't discuss her, but I know I'm gonna say this.
Yeah,
Laura,
I'm not going to discuss her.
Live. I was like, fuck, I missed everything. God damn, like I said, I've missed a lot. So I'll have to go back and watch them and go over them and all that bullshit. But
I won't discuss her, but I will say that
I was gonna go live yesterday or the day before yesterday about the Grandma Sherry shit and put out the full context receipts and all that, but I was asked not to because she felt like a pawn, which I understand.
And
then I was gonna, come on here yesterday if I could, but I didn't have time to get on here. But somebody else had said something pretty shitty. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll just wait. We'll wait till after Christmas and we'll take care of it. And then it'll be put behind us from that point on.
Hopefully.
Well, over here it will be. I mean, if they want to go on with it, that's fine. It is what it is. I don't know how many. I mean, I've gotten tons of emails and messages and, messages on here, comments on here and shit telling me, basically the little hate channel that's made. I was gonna say it took like what Glare. I don't get along with the Glare. I don't get along with Morbid. I don't get along with Laura. I don't get along with Emmy and Center. So you got 4 people in their chats over there congregate into a hate channel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I believe Morbid also like I think showed your face and your record. He did that bullshit on his live.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, he obviously a strike, so that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, that's not toxic anymore, I'm sure. No, not at all.
Well, Morbid's a piece of shit too. So did you hear the fucking message that he left? Damn, I'll tell you right now. Some people may not like May Noodles. She fucking look. She went live and fucking went off. You hear me? She went off for like 12 hours on his ass. She fucking roasted him so goddamn hard.
Did you see that the messages he left to the glare he posted on his community tab? Like it was.
Oh my god! What the fuck is he doing? What is going on, man? I don't understand.
Oh, he didn't show the face because I heard he was like from someone that he was reading out her record.
Yeah, okay. Well, and then he had Betty in the chat, so I'm sure he was probably trying to impress Betty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I don't know who the fuck impresses her besides him and that other fucking funky channel, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, so May wrote, May put this up. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it was sent to me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I was trying to listen to it. Here, we're about to listen to it real quick. Let me throw some music on behind here.
Can we do a breaking news? Can we do a breaking news before we do that? Turtle Boy is apparently has got a bolo for him, which is basically
shit. Oh, that's what you sent me earlier. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes,
which is basically he's got a bee on the lookout. He's basically on the run for domestic. There's a newspaper article here. It says Medfield, Massachusetts, a law enforcement bolo be on the lookout has been issued for aiding Kearney, the Holden blogger who calls himself Turtle Boy. Two sources, including a member of law enforcement, told 25 Investigates that police are seeking to immediately be on the lookout for Kearney on probable cause for felony charges of domestic assault, battery, and witness intimidation. This new development stems from an incident Kearney was allegedly involved in Friday evening at Medfield's home of a woman he's been in a relationship with. According to sources, 25 Investigates is still working to determine what the woman alleges Kearney did to her. The sources said the woman had previously shared information about Kearney with the state police investigators and is considered a witness in his ongoing prosecution that began his arrest. That's basically everything else is just basically a repeat of everything else before that. So he is on the run. I have not heard he's turned himself in yet. So.
Holy shit. And you know what else? His court date's on here. Like I said, I didn't have time to go live. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I appreciate that, love. And Gone Girl gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. You guys are being super supportive.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Monica, she donated $19.99. Merry Christmas, nice. Queen. Thank you so much, love. And the Cash App said Merry Christmas. Thank you so much, love. I just got it. I'll send you a heart back.
I am not making this up. This is a fact. There is an article, and also it was reported.
Hold on, you just cut me right off. Can you not hear me?
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I'm just making sure you can hear me, so she knows I said thank you. It's okay. Can you hear me though?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's okay. I'll mute.
You finish. I cut you off. My apologies.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure she heard me say thank you. I didn't want to be rude. But go ahead. It's okay.
So basically, I first heard about it. Someone in our evil Discord noticed me that basically said Masshole Mafia showed the report, and then later on there's an article. So there's two articles one is from Boston 10 and one is from Boston 25, and this is actually Boston 25. My apologies. So yes, this is a fact.
Do you have it? If you want to put it up,
I have it.
Up on the screen.
I have it. Yeah,
go ahead.
I can put it up. 1 second. Give me one more. Let me just.
I was gonna say. Yeah, you can.
It's very small article because there's not much information on this was about 4 or 5 hours ago. So I don't know if he's turned himself in or something, but it's a very, very small article. So this is let me just put let me see. There it is. Yeah, so this is it. Do you have it?
Yep, it's up here.
So it says, see,
there you go.
25 Investigates Bolo issued for Turtle Boy blogger, sources say. Medfield, Massachusetts. Law enforcement BOLO be on the lookout has been issued for aiding Kearney, the Holden blogger who calls himself Turtle Boy. Two sources, including a member of law enforcement, told 25 investigate that police are seeking to immediately be on the lookout for Kearney on probable cause for felony charges of domestic assault and battery and witness intimidation. This new development stems from an incident Kearney was allegedly involved in Friday evening at Medfield home of a woman he's been in a relationship with, according to 25. He's married, I believe, too. So this might be outside the marriage. I'm not sure what the situation is. If it's, I don't know who this person is. They haven't said, but they said, I don't know what the situation is. If that's the wife or something like that, I don't know. 25 investigators is still working to determine what the woman alleges Kearney did to her. The sources said the woman had previously shared information about Kearney with state police investigators and is considered a witness in his ongoing prosecution that began with his arrest and district court appearance in October. The case was elevated to Norfolk Superior Court, where Kearney was arraigned Friday on 8 charges of intimidation of a witness, 3 counts of a conspiracy to intimidate a witness, and 5 counts of picketing a witness for his controversial activism in the Free Karen Reid movement.
Hold on, Perfectly Imperfect. She's asking you a question. She said, "Where is this article from? Local news." I can't read the logo.
Yes, it says local Boston 25 News, your local station. So, and also there's an actual. I would show the Twitter thing that Masterhole shows, but it doxes his date of birth and a lot of other information.
Well, I have his court date. We can pop that up too whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I don't want to show that because it doxes his his date of birth and everything. So I don't want to risk showing that. But there is information that shows.
I'm showing the news on TV, the news that they played. So that's right off the news.
No, I'm talking. They literally have the wanted thing, like the document, and it has his date of birth and everything.
Oh, so, okay. I was gonna say I'm talking about this right here, which
no,
is
that's fine. But I'm talking about Masshole Mafia has that on there.
Okay. You mean the BOLO has all of his stuff on there?
Yeah. And I don't want to show that because I don't want to.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
How's everybody's day today? What up, good egg?
Merry Christmas, Boston. How are you, man?
Good. Me and Joel's just watching Jurassic Park. We put it on pause to come hang out with you guys, but it's our favorite movie, Jurassic Park, the first one. Yes. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, love. I hope you're doing well. I seen you little lovebirds sitting by the tree with your gifts. I'm like, for first Christmas. I love it.
Yeah. I met her mom today. She's awesome.
Good egg. Hold on. She said, Merry Christmas, Queen Bee. Season's greetings to the Hive and to all members, panelists, friends, and chatters who make this channel fun, loud, and unpredictable. Thank you, Good Egg. I appreciate that, love. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but I did see you guys. I was like, oh my gosh, look at them little love birds with their presents and their gifts. I'm so excited for you guys, though. That's so nice. Really it is. It's nice to have something good come in. Thank you so much for the PayPal that you just sent. I don't know how to send a message back on PayPal other than to send you a heart. So at least you know that I got it. There's a little heart there.
Okay. So you're gonna play the hearing, the thing that he was on?
Yeah, that's what I have up here.
Okay,
I mean, unless y'all don't want to watch it, and that's fine too. We ain't gotta watch it.
I mean, it's kind of interesting because I remember I heard the Glare review it. He dressed up like he put on a sweater and glasses and did like a weird voice trying to mock off the cuff when he was reviewing it. He reviewed it once normally and then he did that.
I'm sorry with that.
And I was kind of rooting for him. I was
Is he still mad at off the cuff?
Yeah, he's still mad. He dressed up. He put like one of those I don't know what those weird hats are. I don't know for what it's called. And he's got glasses and he put on a sweater. He dressed up like an adult and then he pretended to have a voice and pretended to joke. He called it mysterious guest. And this was literally I think this was the day, 2 days, like a day before he did what he did with the assault, what he allegedly did with the assault. So this is going to be kind of weird now to watch since this guy's going to be like, well, he's not violent and he's not going to intimidate witnesses. And he's allegedly violent and intimidating witnesses on Christmas Eve. So I think
Imperfect said they She said outfit oddly suited.
Yeah, it was a good outfit, actually. I think he looked good with that outfit, man. He looked like his age.
I gotta go see this shit. Is it?
You know, I'm not gonna diss him.
Yeah,
it's still up. It's called Mysterious Guest, and it looked good, man. The guy looked like dressed appropriately. He didn't have like he had the sweater. He dressed kind of like me. Like I have sweaters, and I'm just like I get like a nice, comfortable $100 sweater, and I put it on. And I'm just comfortable because I just care about being comfortable.
Boho said, "Hold on, I thought he was doing the Yellow Cottage channel."
No. It was off the cuff. He was making fun of because it had like the background and like the cop thing.
I'm sorry, but man, I can't stand his fucking ass. But doing stupid shit like that makes me laugh. I can't help it.
I'm gonna send you a meme real quick. Hold up, Jules, man. Hold up.
Let's see. I want to see this outfit he's got on here. Is it the last one he just did? Mystery guest? Is that it? Or
yeah, that's the one. Mystery guest. And you'll see
2 days ago. Though. Is that what you're talking about? The one 2 days ago?
Yeah, he did it on the 23rd, and allegedly, Turtle Boy assaulted someone on the 24th, and witnessed intimidation. So, I mean, it might not age well. This parody in this.
I'm fucking done. Look at this. You guys want to see this shit? Look at this.
Oh hell no! What?
He looked age appropriate. I mean, he looked fine. He looked like a grown up now.
Is that really him, or does someone fuck with it?
No, that's him. He dressed to be trying to be off the cuff.
Oh God!
You know, he looked age appropriate. He's finally grown up. It's good. It's good for him. So, and then he tried doing like, I don't know if he's got a strike, but his voice, he did the voice thing, which is kind of whatever. I mean, he's reviewed us enough times, so whatever. You could probably play his voice to see how he sounds. Yeah, that's not $100 sweater. That's not $100 sweater he's wearing, actually. So he might need to get that. Let me see.
Yeah.
Damn, maybe I need to lay off the hard lemonade tonight. Yeah, probably.
No, I mean, they're just gonna pour that in a boot and drink it. She said.
Look, Kalita said armchair detective. That's what it kind of looks like.
Oh, God. Let's hear his voice. You want to hear his voice?
I am in Indy. I can't help it.
His off a camera look. Oh my God.
His off camera look. Okay, so was he? So who was he trying to be? Because I don't watch
off the cuff. Like you know that police officer, that guy who has
the one that he got mad at, right? The one that
he's got mad for a couple of people, but this one was like an officer for 27 years, and he had the coffin doffer on his panel, and he was like really pissed off at that guy, and he was like reviewing him. Yeah, he's making fun of that guy.
I mean, damn, it wasn't a little bad get up right there. He kind of looked like him.
Well, listen. He looks age appropriate. He's not like wearing fucking tight shirts pretending that he's like 30, 20 years old or some shit. Like just.
That's very true. That's very true.
As
long as he has braids in, almost 40.
The important question is: did he go out and buy this outfit, or already have it, or borrow it from someone? Let's hope he had it. I don't know which is worse, having it around or buying it. You decide. You can vote on that. The Glare hates some of the smartest, most educated people on YouTube. Yeah, he hates when people disagree with him. He does this a lot. If you actually looked into past cases he's done, which by the way, there's a really interesting documentary that's, someone's doing. It's up to part 1.
Hold on, Maple Walnut. What do you mean? Who cares how much a sweater costs? Who's talking about how much a sweater costs?
Kim said $100 sweater. Come on, Maple Walnut.
Yeah, I did say $100 sweater.
Right? Come on.
At least he had the sweater on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
He aged 40 years, Kalia says.
That's not exactly an elitist outfit. I'm sure there's a lot of sweaters that are probably $100. Probably worth a lot more. Probably people wear $500 to $1,000 sweaters or some shit. Okay.
I'll tell you.
Sorry.
Well, Jules said that was a motherfucking Mr. Rogers sweater.
I can't believe I missed it. Yeah, I was gonna say, kind of reminded me of Mr. Rogers, but I don't, like I said, I don't really watch that he fucking goes at. So I knew when Dolly went on his ass. Oh my god, that fucking thumbnail that Dolly had up was fucking hilarious. It was like him in like a little tube top shirt. I'm like, oh my god.
But what is it? What do you think's gonna happen? Like, because eventually he's gonna have to talk to his turtle squad now. And basically,
somebody said that he was flipping his stance or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't. That's just hearsay at this point. So who really? I haven't heard him say that. I don't know. But at some point in time, he's gonna have to come out and talk to his
turtle riders.
Well, yeah, and but to be honest though, well, she said the flare needs a different hat now. That that one don't match.
A little off.
This is kind of an interesting hearing to listen. So now that we know that Turtle Boy, is allegedly assaulted someone and did witness intimidation, we're going to listen to how he's not going to do witness intimidation beforehand. So it's
okay, but I did hear that they let him
on his own reconnaissance.
Yeah.
So with no money,
followers are now saying the assault was on TB.
Sure, they are. I mean, I'm sure it is. We'll see. I mean, why is he on the run then? Shouldn't he just go, like, if I was his lawyer, I would tell him, I would scream at him, get over here and let's go work this out. I'll walk you to the police station. I mean, like, what is he doing? Hopefully he's turned himself in, because that's the dumbest move you can do in the world, to be like riding around. I mean, this was on the 24th, so this is the 26th. So
look at her go. Look at she said like a newsy one. I was like
newsy one.
What?
He looks like he's in a when he was in that shirt, it was like a tiny little cutoff. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see. This starts off a little bit late, doesn't it? The other one was like, wait 20 minutes. Okay. This is not. This gets louder.
I don't know. It's pretty low. I think it's too low.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a different one. This is too low. We can't.
Yeah, you can't hear it. Let me see.
He's a small little son bitch. What a good egg.
Good egg.
Yo, Turtle Boy's he's a small little son bitch, huh?
Boston, everyone's.
Let me read this. Tim did. Oh, he said, okay, Tim did. Said it's not $100 sweater. I assure you, I wear cheap ass sweaters when I was young, designer only, but my gowns were $500 minimum. My point was, it doesn't matter the money of someone's clothing. That's all. Yeah, you're right. It really doesn't. I mean, it doesn't, but it does. You know what I mean? Those little sweaters. I can see what he's saying. I see what he meant.
Yeah. My apologies if I offended people. My apologies. I didn't mean to do that. If I said that. I didn't mean
okay, I didn't know if you wanted to stay back there, if you wanted to come up here. I wasn't sure.
I walked away because I knew it was going to take a while, and then I heard you guys calling me. I'm like running back to unmute, and I'd already been put backstage. Was that playing was that the live stream from that local news station, that Boston?
Yeah, but we couldn't
too
hear
low.
So another one. Merry Christmas, Shannon. It's good to see you. I know that that one's hard to hear, so we have to go get one that we can like listen to. I couldn't hear that.
So I watched it. So I watched actually really carefully that day, because I'm definitely very interested in this whole thing with this turtle, with this Aiden Kearney and this Turtle Boy guy, because I mean I understand it's connected to the Karen Reed case, but I think on its own independently it's really very interesting because it's dealing with a lot of the stuff that that has been a topic of conversation like on this channel, like taking YouTube to real life, and can anybody on YouTube with any sort of outrageous behavior like label that as activism and journalism and kind of just do whatever they like? And then to see somebody who seems like they're going to get some sort of, well, legal consequence, I'm like very interested in how this is going to turn out. So, well, Queen's finding another thing for this. What basically happened when he was arraigned the other day is that, first of all, the charges and the arraignment meant that he went up to a higher court. So he went from the district court up to the superior court, which is what he's in now. His former bail, which was, he was released on like personal recognizance from the district court, but it came with some conditions, which was a restraining order against all of the witnesses that he has been charged with allegedly intimidating in different ways. And he tried to get that dismissed. And this judge in the superior court had upheld it in like a really long and very interesting order from November, which is really good to read because if you don't really know like exactly what he's been accused of and what he's been doing, it kind of gives a good summary, and it's pretty outrageous stuff. So he had this restraining order. During this arraignment hearing, however, and Kearney's lawyer seems really good, the judge pointed out, like, hey, the prosecutor wanted to keep the restraining order, but also wanted to add even more things, because basically the prosecutor claimed that Kearney was doing things like still going live, still talking about these witnesses and saying things like, I'm not telling you to do this, but anybody could go do this, but I'm not telling you to. And he said it was kind of like a coded thing and he wanted even more restraint. So the judge said that Massachusetts law is kind of convoluted. And the law that allows the district court judge to do a personal recognizance bond where it's like, you're just released, but they can put all these conditions on you, it actually doesn't exist in superior court unless the guy agrees to it or because they say like he's a dangerous person, judge. So the judge literally says in this hearing, he's like, I'm hamstrung. Like, can you tell me a statute or case law where I can continue these conditions or put more conditions on him? Because unless you tell me, I can't. And the prosecutor was actually pretty fair. He said, we're not going to try to do him as like a dangerous person. And the judge kind of alluded to the fact that they could give him like a high bail.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
You might as well not wear the mask if it's not covering your nose. So you can remove it, sir. You can remove it.
Is this a Turtle Boy's head? Is this one of Turtle Boy's friends?
He put a lanyard on, yeah. Well, with supporters like that, I like how the camera like went and looked at that guy. Like that was so important. Like that. Oh, peace.
He's throwing up the peace sign.
He's very happy as his supporters.
All right, here we go. I'm pretty sure this is where it starts. Oh no, you know what? We got a little bit more time. But they okay. Here we go. This is where they start at. I knew it was a little bit in. All right.
You are unmuted.
CR313. Can I have counsel identify themselves for the record, signing the code? Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kenneth Mello, Special Prosecutor.
Okay, Mr. Mello. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of Aiden Kearney, who's here before me for the record. Okay, thank you. Thank you for hearing us. All right, you should be seated. Okay.
Judge, so on today for arraignment, may I proceed?
Yes.
Mr. Bradle, does your client waive the right to a full movement?
We do, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you. 1 through 8, intimidation of a witness, 9 through 13, picketing, and 14 through 16, conspiracy. Mr. Kearney, how do you wish to plead? Guilty or not guilty? Not guilty. Plead. Thank you. Question of bail?
Not available.
I beg your pardon?
Certain conditions, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, and I'll hear you.
Your Honor, preliminarily, I just would like the record to reflect.
can you guys hear him okay?
Yeah, I can hear him. And so for people turning in, this is Turtle Boy. This is his bail hearing. This is 2 days. This is 3 days before the assault he just did. He's allegedly did on the 24th. He's got a BOLO, so be on the lookout for him right now. That's what it's called. They're looking for him, the cops, for the charges for what is it?
Domestic some.
I'm just reading it so it's precise.
Yeah.
For felony, a charge for domestic assault and battery and witness intimidation.
Yeah.
So,
and another thing to keep in mind is that during this arraignment, because of a legal kind of loophole, which the judge explains, he's set back on bail, personal recognizance, like he doesn't have to post a bail, he's out, which he was before. But because of a legal, like weird legal loophole the judge will talk about, he no longer had the protective orders that were restraining him from contacting or speaking about any of the witnesses that he has allegedly intimidated. And the judge, the prosecutor seems like wanting to have to put some conditions in. And the judge specifically says, well, I don't need to put a condition in that if he breaks the law, he's in trouble. If you break the law, Mr. Kearney, you know that you're coming back in here, right?
well,
and he's like, yeah, got it.
Well, he might be going back sooner than he thought. He couldn't stop for 3 days.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes it more ironic when you see this whole hearing, this arraignment.
Yeah, it's super ironic.
Well, yeah, he got this. The arraignment happened, and then the warrant went out, right? Or the BOLO.
2 days. I think it was the 24th is when it happened, the incident, and so he probably came out like the late at night of 24th to the 25th. I think.
Oh wow.
So
Virginia ×3, thank you so much for becoming a new member, and thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, I appreciate that, love.
Okay, wait, it said here the time received on 1500 hours 11 minutes and 50 seconds on 12/24/23 was received. So that was when the BOLO was put out for him. So if he's not in custody yet, he should probably turn himself in, and I hope his lawyer is telling him to turn himself in, because this is not good for his case.
I'm sure he probably is. I mean, but ultimately it's on him. I mean, the lawyer can tell you turn yourself in, but that's on you.
Yeah, I mean,
the way he's doing the suburban looking over his shoulder and shit, I'm sure he's probably not gonna,
Yes, he is right.
Not driving himself nuts that every other corner as a police officer, he drove himself crazy.
Yes. By the way, Lover, yes, he is right now on the run. He's got a BOLO out for him for witness intimidation, domestic abuse, and some what is it? Let me see, just to read it, because I have a terrible memory sometimes. Domestic assault, battery, and witness intimidation. And this hearing was 3 days before that incident. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's kind of bad. What happened? Shoot, I was too busy thinking about Hunter S. Thompson. Well, you go, Greg.
Because basically, we don't know, right? Like, even the local news are pointing out, they're saying it's according to sources, and we do see that there is this BOLO. We see some sort of official document. The narrative being posted, and like we don't know how to confirm that, is that basically a woman that he has been in a relationship with, he went to her house. This woman is going to be called as a witness. She has some sort of evidence which is going to be subject to discovery, and that there was some sort of argument that ended up in this be on the lookout, and that they're to arrest him for domestic assault. So it is not completely unverified. It is there, but we don't know the actual story of what's going on. Like, something's going on.
Yeah, it's still early. So also, I think someone said in the chat earlier that his side is trying to say the woman assaulted him, but why would there be a BOLO?
Which is completely what we would expect, right? And we don't know, but I would say that no matter what, I would not be surprised that people defending him, again, in a domestic situation, would be like, it was the other person, right?
Yeah, and if that was the case, then why would he not just turn himself in and just work it out with the cops, and maybe bring his lawyer with him, say, hey, they're trying to get these trumped up charges on me. Get my lawyer with me. We'll walk into the police station. You'll sit with me while we just, whatnot. But I have not heard he turned himself in yet. Maybe maybe he has during the article situation. Hopefully he has. But so far as I know it, he has not turned himself in yet.
Yeah. Well, they're always going to cry corruption to explain away anything, but we don't know if like that is what they're saying yet. But yeah, I'm looking on Twitter right now to see what's the most updated thing. Queen, you can continue playing it if you like.
He just posted a video.
Someone said that, but where? I didn't see it on YouTube.
On his channel, he posted a video.
I'll look.
Mr. Brittle and I have actually gotten along quite well. Good. Thus far, anyway. And with respect to the timing of this arraignment,
Oh my
I'd like to
God.
reflect this into some public comment that we had represented to the defense that the arraignment would not take place until after the Christmas holiday. It was advanced to today, Your Honor, because Mr. Bradle will be away, and we're looking to accommodate that schedule. So I would like that to the record reflect that's the reason it's being held when it's being held.
Sure.
In terms of,
We were open for business next week, and we were prepared to do it next week, but I understood Mr. Bradle was going to be away.
Judge, obviously this proceeding today is not being held in a vacuum. Your Honor has heard the facts of the cases that gave rise to the indictments appearing before you today. Unless Your Honor wants a summary, I will not repeat them. It's certainly been discussed publicly in this court before Your Honor.
Right.
Queen.
Dave,
You should play this.
I heard you.
You should play it's apparently.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just messaged you in the back chat.
Here's the video.
Yeah, I got it 3 times now.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's all good. Let me put some music on. We'll put it on real fast.
Yeah, this is apparently posted by Turtle Boy.
Turtle Boy's like 5 minutes ago.
18.
And before Queen plays it, and we'll just go ahead and give a little commentary on the title, which is transforming it as well. You'll notice that the title is what we kind of just theorized: Medfield woman verbally abuses Turtle Boy, endangers her 4 children. So again, the context of this is that as far as we know, there's a BOLO out for him for a domestic incident with a woman that he was in a relationship with at some point. And this is probably going to be, he's basically saying, I was abused verbally by this woman. So that's the context.
I can't believe
Boho's saying he will strike.
Well, how would you want to do it? What do you think? I mean, will he strike while he's on the run from the cops?
You could do a little bit, and
what does
Queen's
that have
totally
to do with anything? Fucking strike on YouTube.
First of all, listen. I like how B Tim thinks that him not turning himself in means he's like literally running from the cops and like can't press strike button. But you could play.
Like, what the fuck type of world is this?
Tim.
You could play you could play 2 minutes Queen and have your loudmouth panelists give their opinion. Which would
what about the audio? Because you're just the audio?
I don't know, but I got to play some music behind it so that way it's definitely transformative. You know what I mean?
This is wild. Like,
this is crazy.
Wild.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It really is, because he got what he.
Good age you cut off.
Was forced to lift these protective orders that he wanted to get rid of, right? Just off the legal loophole. And the thought that he couldn't allegedly seems like couldn't control.
You're cutting in and out. Good egg. Good egg. You're cutting in and out.
I don't know why.
Let me try.
Okay.
Oh, now it's better. Maybe you just hear.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just cutting it. It's just cutting you in and out for a second. But go ahead. It's all good.
I hate talking, knowing that it might sound bad.
No,
so please stop.
That's why I said you're fine. It's all good. It's not.
Stop me immediately.
It was for a minute, but it's not anymore.
But the thought that he had filed motions to get rid of these protective orders, and he was denied. And through a legal loophole, after his arraignment, all those conditions of his personal recognizance bond or whatever were lifted. And it seemed like the judge really was almost kind of pleading with the state to give him away, to put conditions on him. But, you know, the state was fair. They said, we think he's going to show up. We're not going to overdo it here. And to think that allegedly within 48, 72 hours, like possibly he couldn't control himself from committing like another crime or like, you know, is quite interesting. Now in Massachusetts, if he's charged with like arrested for a crime without his personal recognizance, especially if it's a felony crime, they have the right to put him in jail for 90 days without bail.
Especially if it's the exact same thing he's being charged with, which is witness intimidation and attacking, like allegedly, you know, domestic situation against this witness might not be something they were like, okay, we're gonna let you out. Not a good move, man. I don't know, man. I don't think it was a smart move he did this. And I think he should have just immediately called up his lawyer and handled this immediately and go to the precinct and deal with it. He looks like he has a high-priced attorney, so he could probably deal with this very easily. But he's making this into a bigger situation than it should be.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready, Queen. And I agree with Tim, his lawyer. I was impressed with his lawyer and the very limited amount of time I heard him speaking in the arraignment.
Well, he's paying for him. He's paying for a good lawyer. I mean, he's got one. The play button.
We ready now?
We're ready, and we'll talk over it.
Here we go.
I'm still recording.
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna do that.
Do what?
I knew it.
Go be with my
Yeah, I called it. You stood there and you lied to my face. Lied to my face.
Okay, looks like he's moving around.
I was gonna say, it sounds like he's just moving at this point.
Now he's.
Wow, I had no idea, Queen. I mean, we didn't even give like a trigger warning. I thought this was him like going live.
No, he's recording the incident.
Yeah, I didn't realize This is very okay.
What incident is it? What is this?
He's recording the argument with this woman, and he posted it.
Yeah, the domestic incident that he apparently there's a bolo out for his arrest for a domestic incident, possibly battery and assault.
It's for this recording right here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is messed up. This is really messed up. She sounds. Yeah, this is a trigger warning. That woman sounds very distressed. I thought it was going to be him talking about explaining the situation. No, yeah. So he's allegedly committed this domestic incident, and what he's done is he secretly recorded it and he's uploaded the audio to YouTube to say that this woman is a verbal abuser.
Yeah.
It sounds very disturbing.
Yeah. I started listening to it, and it's like an argument between them. It's all audio.
Yeah.
No, Maple Walnut, she didn't record it. This was uploaded by him. So this recording is from his device.
Yeah, he recorded it and he put evidence against himself.
That's what I just was thinking. It's so crazy, like that he's putting
the self snitching does not stop.
I was gonna say nothing like a little self snitch there.
Holy fuck, man! I'm surprised he even lasted this long without going to jail.
Oh God, I don't need forgiveness. I couldn't even fucking say a word after what you fucking did to me. For weeks. Are you kidding me? Oh really? Let's play the videos. Of what you didn't do to me. Let's play them. Shall we? Fucking shall we? Let's play them. I'm gonna play them for you right now. Hold on, let me just get to them.
What videos? What are you talking
Wow, this
leaving me.
This is crazy.
After I took these pills, after you lied to my face just now, to try to walk out now, you realize I'm a mandated reporter, right? You want to fuck with me with my help and make me sit here and do this alone? When all you have to do for 3 hours is sit here? Fuck you. I'll fucking play your game, Aiden. I'm not lying. I'm not gonna lie for you. Oh yeah, that's why you told me that. I need to fucking side with you, and you'll protect me. You won't put my shit out there. That's why you're blackmailing me. Nice try. Nice try. Nice try. No, you blackmail me, and it doesn't have to be a direct blackmail either, or a direct threat. Do you not realize that by now? You fucking blackmail me. You said me that shit about my kids. You blackmail me and you threaten me. And guess what? Guess fucking what?
Oh shit.
Oh, you have to.
So this is really hard.
Evidence against him, and he just uploaded it on YouTube. And
Yeah.
Wow.
On fucking Christmas, doing this.
This is crazy.
Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, actually.
No, Christmas.
Oh,
Christmas
this happened on
Day.
Christmas Eve?
Yeah, this
he
apparently happened on Christmas Eve. He's been on Bolo for 2 days, almost a day and a half.
So wait, okay, so how did this happen on Christmas Eve, but Bolo for 2 days or day and a half?
I think he means yesterday and today. Yesterday and today.
Oh, but this was recorded yesterday, you're saying? On Christmas Eve.
Right,
on,
so just
on the
basically
report,
24 hours then, huh?
On the report, it says this time received on this report was 15 hours, 11 minutes, and 50 seconds, military time, at 12:24:23.
Sorry, I'm kind of reeling here because I did not know that this was going to be this kind of recording. And it's very distressing. It's very distressing to see this labeled as a woman verbally abusing a man when we hear absolute distress and terror and stress from the female voice and calm from the male voice, and the male voice is also the one recording. And again, people in the chat are pointing out, like, we don't know the context, of course, but we're hearing things like, you're not going to blackmail me into saying this and things like that.
And she's a witness. She's an alleged witness to his case. So why is he going over there? And he says, I forgive you. And he's like, she's talking about blackmail. I mean, it seems like there's
she has videos. She said I have videos.
Yeah, she's not one of the, to be clear, she is not one of the listed witnesses that he's charged with intimidating. Mm-hmm. What they're saying is that what we're hearing, and we don't know for sure, right, is the idea that it's someone who has a relationship with him and who has maybe been interviewed as a witness against him and possibly has evidence that could be used, that could be subject to discovery in the case against him.
Holy fuck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which again, we don't know for sure because that's what people are saying.
Yeah.
But
right.
And somebody said in the chat, Lisa Hunt said she doesn't sound terror. She sounds stressed. I didn't say she sounds terror. I said she sounds distressed.
Yeah.
But didn't she say something about like pills or something?
I feel so uncomfortable even diving into that because he put this out for a reason,
he did this. I mean, this is a classic of a toxic person where a person, basically at first tries to control you, but then tries to control what other people think of you. And this is what this guy's doing. So he couldn't control her. So now he wants the mob of people on his channel to control what they think of her, and that she's the bad guy, that she's the evil one, and she's the one that endangered her four children, and Turtle Boy was verbally abused by this woman, and he's innocent. These corrupt
it's ridiculous. All right. Here we go. Ready?
What to do? You lied to me. All you had to do is sit there. But for some reason, you have to fucking get going at 3 a.m. I wonder why. Because you're a fucking liar and a user. No, you're a liar and a user. You just stood there and said, okay, I'll stay. And then as soon as I put them in my mouth, you fucking do this shit. You're a fucking psychopath. You're deranged. There's something wrong with you. You weren't built right. You were born with something with your wiring fucking off that makes you a fucking psycho. You're psychotic. No fucking man acts this way. No man thinks his whole life is an online world with fucking online fucking people. They talk shit. Like, you literally think like that's the whole world. Like, because you're a dweeb. Because no girl ever fucking wanted you. No girl. And guess what? The only fucking reason anyone pays any attention to you is because you're fucking stupid ass shit. Otherwise, nobody will look twice. No, I fucking wasn't. And guess what? I have messages from 2 months ago. I believe Karen is 100% guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty? No, because
you're retired.
I'm retired. That's why I have 2 degrees. That's why I have 3 licenses.
Community college.
No, actually from real college. I have a bachelor's degree. Oh, UMass Amherst? Zoomass? You went to Zoomass, dude?
Yes.
All your siblings went to she's a school. You go to Zoomass. What was wrong with you? What went wrong? You're the problem child. You're the fucking, and you're just mental. It's mentally ill as your fucking mother. Just like
My mother?
Your mother.
You
The
think
fucking
my
crazy
mom's
nut job that belongs in a fucking institution.
My mom?
Yeah.
I didn't know my.
Yeah. Oh, I did my research too. Mommy likes to do her research too.
Wait, my mom's a
Yeah.
nut job?
Yeah, I know all about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
Yeah, wow. And threatening.
Jeez Louise. All right. You guys okay? Everybody all right?
You know what? I was okay. Well, no, I'm not okay because it's like he put this out, even though this makes him look, it does not make this woman look bad. And he put it out. I actually went and looked at the comments. And for anybody who thought that
he's married with a wife at home, this is not his wife.
I don't know.
I think this is a strong. That's what the article is basically saying. That this is.
They wanted you to drop the link to the article as well.
I dropped it 3 times. So I'll drop it
Okay,
again. I'll drop it all. I kept on dropping.
No, it's okay. I just read the comment where they wanted you to drop it.
Yeah, I'll drop it again. It says here that this is supposedly a woman allegedly. Let me see. Sources said the woman had previously shared information about Kearney with the state police and is considered a witness on prosecution. Yeah, like let me see. There was.
The other thing that's really upsetting is the comments.
Yeah,
like,
been in a relationship with him. Now I don't know. That's what it says in a relationship. So it could be. I don't know if it's
it
like
could be the
anything.
wife,
It
right?
could be.
Like, we don't
No,
know.
it's not the wife. It's not the wife.
Well,
It could be like a friend.
We don't know if it's not the wife. It's probably not.
It
We don't
doesn't
know.
say though. It doesn't say a wife on here.
Right, it doesn't, but it says a woman with a relationship, so it could. I'm saying it could.
She's
be
not
the-
acting like it's his wife.
No, I
It's not his
agree.
wife.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just trying to say like what we know. We can't say for sure like he's with another woman, not his wife. You know.
Well, I
even though-
didn't mean it like that. I'm trying to say.
So
I'm keeping
in
very
the
clear on that.
comments, it's very upsetting. It's like all the comments are like, "Oh, fatal attraction. She's blackmailing him." Like typical crazy bee. So yeah, it's pretty upsetting.
Yeah, it could be a friend of his from the show. A relationship doesn't mean anything.
Yep, it could
sexual.
literally mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keeping safe there until confirmed with that.
Amy, when you want to fucking get your way, telling me to do whatever you fucking say, or else you'll release information about my children.
definitely
You made
say
the
that.
big mistake threatening my children, bringing my children into it. You made a huge fucking mistake. Huge.
I definitely didn't try to
Huge.
say
Oh, you definitely did. You definitely did. And your ex or direct threat. You definitely fucking did. You knew exactly what you were doing. And guess what? It doesn't mean just because you put it in words, by the way, this is not a threat, doesn't make it not a threat.
Oh.
Like you think you're so fucking slick, dude. You're not slick at all.
You belong with Kate.
You're not
You
slick.
guys are
You're not slick.
basically
Oh,
the same
I'm gonna be 20 times worse than Kate. Because I'm gonna tell the truth about everything because you just fucking did that stuff.
Fine, I can go.
You wanna go there and it's so much worse to do.
Go there. Oh, please. Where are you going right now?
That's so sad. I mean, I don't like that.
Yeah.
She's crying back.
No, I think we got
you can hear it in his coat pocket though. He's like
also
sneaky recording.
I think it also talks about how he starts trying to take documents later on the recording. I think I heard when I was skimming through it.
And the chat said he's separated from his wife.
Okay.
It's not his wife. It's his side piece.
Well, no, I don't.
No, somebody in the chat just said that.
Yeah. Okay. The chat said that.
Oh, who are you calling? What are you doing? What are you gonna try to do? Are you gonna try to frame me for something?
Frame you?
Are you serious? Are you gonna try to pull some bullshit like I hate you or something? Is that what you're trying to do right now? Who are you calling? Who are you calling? Who?
Yeah, I know. Leave me alone with Courtney. happens to me because I'm living out. Yeah, I have. I have. No, you have. I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't left your email to you. You fucking do it. Do it, Ethan. Do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. I knew you were gonna fucking do that to me. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
I don't live here.
You just promised me if I you just promised me. No, there's fucking one fucking time you need to give out. I fucking took the majority of them. They're all gone, and you're gonna fucking do this to me. You're gonna fucking leave me in case something happens. You're gonna fucking walk out. Are you serious?
What the fuck? What's gonna happen?
You understand? You understand what it does? You even fucking understand?
Yeah, I would say he sounds bad. Like it doesn't even.
Well, we always hear this, right? When people are like secretly taping an argument and they are so calm, right? When the other person is crying and screaming.
Apparently, it's a two-party consent state.
It is. Massachusetts is actually one of the very few states that's a two-party consent
shit.
state. So it is illegal to record any conversation without both people knowing.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've just self-stitched even more by posting this. Oh my God. Aiden, please call your lawyer. Please, God, call your lawyer.
And
Okay,
apparently,
will you guys make sure you mute because somebody's mic's messing up pretty bad.
Is it me? Like I'll just.
I heard you perfectly.
No, I don't think so.
I think they might be hearing. I think they might be hearing like the rustling in the guy's pocket. That made me keep thinking that somebody's having bad mics, but it's the video.
Yeah,
it's the video.
I was gonna say it's the there's some on the I think it's the video too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say if you guys can't mute, I'll try to mute for you if I can, if I remember. But all right, here we go.
All right. Well, I gotta get going.
You can't fucking leave me. I'm gonna fucking like you don't understand. It's literally like giving birth. I can't be alone.
I did not sign up for this.
You told me to fucking take it.
I certainly did.
Don't say you did it. Don't say you did it. I said I'm taking them. You said I'll say that you take them. Don't say that you did it. Don't say that you did it. Don't say that you did it. You said you would. Don't say that you did it. Don't say that you did it. I'll give it to you after. Don't say that you did it because you're proving to me right now. You're just trying to walk out. I can't be alone. I will give it to you after.
I will stay for a little while longer.
No, I don't trust you now. You just tried to leave and walk out the door.
Well, I will leave.
I'll give it to you after. If you leave, no. I promise you win that game. You're not playing a game with me because you just lied to my face.
What are you gonna do
You just fucking lied to my face. This is fucking part of you too.
What?
I shouldn't have to fucking go through this alone. You just don't want to fucking take responsibility for your part. I have to fucking go through this now, and fucking I'm gonna be alone with 4 kids. I have no one at all to fucking be here with me.
Oh my God.
You're I'm not convinced you're pregnant.
Shut the fuck up!
Show me the ultrasound.
You're just trying to
Oh my God.
I think you're a liar. You're a pathological liar.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I think I'm getting like the idea of what she's talking about, and it's so fucking private and personal. Like this is actually getting very upsetting for me. I don't even want to.
Yeah, let's stop.
I think people could realize what she's. This is
Getting
horrific.
at.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I was
God.
reading in the comments. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea.
We don't know. We don't know, but like I'm hearing that, and this is such an invasion of pride. Like,
right? It's
this
moving
guy
towards that. Yeah.
Oh my God! I'm so glad that the legal system is already involved with this guy because my blood
I
is
just sent
boiling.
you something. Yeah, there's like just this recording alone is like great. Well, I don't know why he's doing this to himself. Like,
Aiden, call your attorney now. Like, really, you need to. I don't know what you're thinking, bro, but this is stupid. You just posted a video that you secretly recorded in a 2-party consent state.
Yeah, he's awful for posting this.
He's kind of losing it.
This is crazy, bro. Like, I don't like you, guy, but you need to talk to your lawyer. Like, you need to get in contact with him immediately.
Right?
I can't believe he uploaded this.
It's like he's like on a self-destruct mode or something. Like this, that's not a good idea.
Canceling himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, what a jerk, man.
This is not helping him. This is making him look like he's did this in a two-party consent state. He basically sounds like he's trying to get documentation from someone, so they can probably say, "Oh, he's trying to get rid of evidence." And this woman is possible a witness to his case. And now he's basically, instead of just like working out with the cops, maybe coming there with his lawyer for almost like since the 24th, he has not turned himself in or even contacted the police. So, and then he posted this video literally 25 minutes ago to defend himself. And
I don't know, after listening to that, like I'm super not shocked that he's supported by certain folks in the community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
super not shocked.
No, the people that I'm familiar with that support him, as horrific as this is, it's right up their alley. But I have seen people behave like this, but actually I have not seen people who are smart enough to pay a lot of money for an attorney to behave like this. Because usually the people who are just gonna do whatever that doesn't help them is completely reckless and impulsive. Usually they can't keep attorneys because they don't follow, like they basically, the attorney client relationship breaks down. So I mean, he is out on bond, and I don't know if a crime happened here. We can't tell from this. We know there's the BOLO, but if he gets arrested for a crime, they can do stuff to him. They can lock him up for a little bit. They can put a bail on, like a large bail on him. Different things can happen.
And for him to defend himself while in jail is like 1,000% tougher for him. And then to risk his freedom to do shit like this, dumbass move, man. Dumbass move. Because you are fighting a tough case, and it's tougher when you're behind the bars. So I don't know what he's thinking about. This is definitely going to be held against him. This is definitely going to be brought up on his in front of the judge.
So I have a question about his channel. Like he because I haven't really like I've missed like the few times that Queen has done any coverage on him, and the only things I've seen of like Will or whatever is just like most of the cringy shit. So I went to Turtle Boy's channel one time. Remember, Queen, when
you got to go to Mass Hole Mafia, and they have like a documentary on him, and he's basically
but he mostly covers like New England area only, like
right? That's my understanding.
Karen Reed case,
but the Karen Reed case like blew him up. Like he was getting 1,000
right.
people.
No, I know about all that. I'm just saying like. Just him, the basics of him. He covers New England area pretty much only, right? Because I remember this one incident. I guess it wasn't technically a case. I don't think they ever opened a case, but there was like this alleged bully that supposedly poured gasoline on this kid's head, and this kid's family raised like $650K on a GoFundMe, and it turns out that like they dropped the footage, like because they had surveillance on the houses. And that's not what happened at all, right? And they had the moms on there on the panel and stuff, and on his channel, and like, like we were in favor of him that day because he was like giving the mom a platform to talk, But even then, he was kind of short with her and kind of like really impatient and like kind of hard to deal with.
I had no idea that he was involved in that case, the Krenkel case. I do remember that, but I didn't follow it. I guess that part of it I missed.
It was only one. He did it once, and he had the moms on the panel, and it was the Italian mom first, the one that was her son was the alleged bully, like obviously not a bully, but he was like giving her. She was having a really hard time like using StreamYard. You know what I mean? And her Wi-Fi was like kind of shoddy, and he was like getting really impatient with her. But it was nice to see somebody support her though, because that was like a really shitty thing.
That was a shitty thing. And you know what is even shittier, Cappy, is that sometimes people in bad situations, and when those bad situations have when they either go to the internet to get help with a bad situation, or they've been unfairly portrayed because of a tragedy in their life on the internet.
Right.
When we see bad actors like this reach out their hand to help them, and it's like, my God, you know that in the end, it's only going to cause more heartache than help.
Right.
So
Yeah, like the long case, like, you know, you did that.
Right.
Well, technically, I wouldn't even put that because no one in the victims in that never reached out to the internet to try to fix it. But like in the case that Cappy's talking about, the mom who felt like the narrative was incorrect, and there was this big viral thing. She tried to kind of go to the internet to push back on it. And a parent and a woman in that situation, they have somebody come out and be like, hey, I want to platform you. I want to tell your truth. They don't know what it's like around here. And they accept help, and they don't know that like trauma help is virtually almost never worth it.
She did get lucky though. Like he didn't cover it anymore, and she got to just like state what happened and like, you know, the case or the story was kind of dying down at that point. Like I think that if he would have covered it 2 months prior when they were raising the money, when the articles were swirling around everywhere, that he might have got into it more, but it was kind of dying down. And I wonder whatever happened with that, because they got a lot of money over a lie.
I think
a lot.
You know, they probably had it because it's not really. That is interesting because there was some investigations going on. That was a disturbing one. So Masso Mafia posted 37 minutes ago on her Twitter. And again, like, I'm not saying that she is 100% a credible source, or like this is not sourced or anything, but she does say, hey, Doctor at Turtle Boy, if you have time to post edited audio of abusing one of the many women you cheat on your wife with, and again, I'm reading Masso Mafia's Twitter tweet, why don't you have time to turn yourself into police? This is the part that was interesting. You know you're wanted, you called Holden PD, but instead of turning yourself in as promised, you are further gaslighting your victim. How do you think the court is going to feel about you being a flight risk with moves like this? So what's interesting there is I wonder what her source is for knowing that he actually called in to the Holden PD to say like, hey, am I wanted? And they were like, yeah. And that he hasn't turned himself in. So again, that is just what Masso Mafia posted on Twitter. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I got they have it linked, the little piece of paper that they took a picture of actually on the Twitter thing. I could send it to you.
Oh, I saw that. But I thought it was interesting. She posted 40 minutes ago that this idea that she had some sort of source that said that he called in to double check on it, and they were like, yeah, you come turn yourself in, and he hadn't.
Oh, I see it. She posted, hey, Dr. Turtle Boy, if you have time to post edited audio of your abusing one of the many women you cheat on your wife with, why don't you have time to turn yourself in the police ? You know you're wanted, call Holden PD. But instead of turning yourself in as promised, you are further abusing, gaslighting your victim. How do you think the court is going to feel about you being in flight risk with moves like this? And this is from Masso Mafia's Twitter account. So that's what you were reading before earlier?
Yes, thank you, B10, for rereading the thing that I read. But
that's because I'm sorry. I stepped away for a moment and I didn't hear you read, and I'm sorry.
I know. It's totally fine.
Unfortunately, like my throat gets really dry when I talk too much, so that's probably...
No, that's fine. That's why I didn't interrupt you, but I was like, no, it's good. Yeah, because like I said, Queen was like, we're just like pulling things up that are just being posted now, like that video and things like that. But I have read up on this whole Turtle Boy thing, and I know that what's going on now is connected to the Karen Reed case. Yeah. However, ultimately, these are two different cases. The outcome of the Karen Reed case has no effect on his witness intimidation trial. Like, I know they're intricately involved, but her guilt or her not guilt or the outcome of her trial is essentially completely distinct from him being charged with witness intimidation.
What he's going to try to do is tie them together, because he's hoping, because he needs to, like, there's one thing I do agree with Dolly with. Like, a couple of things I do agree, but in this case, I do agree that he needs to keep on talking about this case because he needs money. He needs a lot of money to defend himself for this case. So he's kind of in a catch-22 where the more he talks about this case, the more he risks possibility of him being more bringing more charges of himself snitching. But if he stops talking about the case, he loses money, and he can't really defend himself with the limited fund, like with the money he has. He raised like $100,000. He raised like a shit ton of GoFundMe money, but we all know how lawyers can burn through that money, like especially high-priced attorneys like this guy. So, I mean, that's the situation he's in. But there's but the truth of it is, if Karen Reed was was innocent, and then they said, oh, it's called corruption and stuff, will not change the fact for Turtle Boy. There are two separate cases. So you need to distinguish the two. I know a lot of people want to mesh them together and be like, corruption is all. No, Turtle Boy put himself in this position by breaking the law. Even if he thought it was the right thing to do, he still broke the law. And he's making his situation worse every single day.
What do you mean, bro? He's totally calling out the corruption.
Yeah.
I agree, and that's
community hero, bro.
That's why I kind of want to follow this on our own, like, you know, just reading the things firsthand, because when I think about even like Mass Hole Mafia, who I believe is one of the larger channels, who has a lot of good information on Turtle Boy and Turtle Boy's history. At the same time, if you go and like look at her content on this right now, she's very much like anti-Turtle Boy, which I'm with, but it's completely tied to also Karen Reed is guilty, right? And I think that creates more. It's just actually much clearer if you sever those, and that you talk about the possibilities in the Karen Reed case separate from this guy's behavior, and this guy's behavior separate from what goes on in the Karen Reed case. Because, you know, if people get too tied, right, like they're not the same person. So I think that I would like to kind of follow it and read things firsthand, rather than people conflating the two, or like, you know, deciding because he's bad guy, I have to have the opposite of his take on it. And I definitely have the opposite of his take on it, because I think he's a conspiracy theorist. I do. But that does not mean that I know like what is going on in the Karen Reed case. We have not had a trial yet.
I mean, there could be evidence that we have no clue about, that the defense has, that they haven't presented. It could be the same thing for the prosecution. Right now, we do not know what the case is going to be. And the case is not for what, 3 more months, 2 more months? I mean, not even openings yet. So we don't know. The trial has to commence. So, and by the Constitution, she's innocent until proven guilty, just like Turtle Boy.
Yeah. I do believe that he's done her a lot of favors, right? Because what they're basically going for is if they go to trial, what they say they're going for is an affirmative defense. This basically like another thing happened. We have this other theory, and it's enough to create reasonable doubt. And he has amplified that alternative theory a lot. And apparently, especially up there locally, like the thing is, it's interesting about him, like Cappy was saying before, he is online, but he's not like across the country. Like he is very local to there, and has apparently the town in general, people do feel like very strongly, and it's very polarizing. And all this online stuff has really affected how people who are potential jury pool feel. So it helps the defense attorneys. They don't have to ever prove their alternative theory of the crime is true. That's not their job. They literally just have to say, this is possible. Does it create enough reasonable doubt in your mind? And if somebody on the outside, for some bizarre reason, jumps in and says, I believe this so strongly, I'm going to do all this. I don't know. Like you said, Bitem, like, you know, the idea that this is his main source of income. It kind of fits it, but I've read what this guy has done and said, like the voicemails, the things he said and done to all different witnesses in this case, and also to the deceased John O'Keefe's family members.
Yeah.
Not a fan. And I'm glad that the state has intervened, and I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, this guy is far worse than.
I did a poll so we could see where the chat's at because we got 570 people in here, and so you guys go vote real fast and let me know where you're at because here it says so I said, do you want to watch the rest of the video? Because we got like 5 minutes left of it, and
Close.
So yes, 57% says yes, and no is 43%.
Yeah, it's pretty close. If you want to see it or not.
That's pretty close. It was 5 minutes though. Like, I think people could choose to, mute for the next like 5 minutes or whatever, but I think we can respect. It is really tough. It's especially tough, I think, because I feel like this was a surprise for us. Like we thought it was going to be him.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be anything like this.
Yeah, we didn't.
Yeah. I didn't think he would like actually submit evidence against himself on a live stream while on the run from cops, while on Twitter or you know what I mean, like just
verbally abusing a woman and trying to manipulate her and be
into
nasty.
something. Yeah, like this is just this is like bonkers. Like this is really bonkers, and yeah, this is crazy. I've never seen this in my entire life, actually. So, I mean.
Yeah, I spent like a whole hour like reading up on the statutes around bail to talk about the arraignment. I didn't know there was going to be like this crazy ish to like talk about that was going to pretty much make his arraignment possibly irrelevant at this point with how things are going to go forward.
I mean, it does make people who reviewed it and like did a whole celebratory dance about it earlier look kind of dumb.
Oh, no, that wasn't because they were being premature. They just didn't understand the words being said. So that's not their fault. They can't understand, and they just were wrong about it, no matter if they did it now or today. But Queen, if you're gonna do the rest of it, I'll mute.
Bitch, I'm dead.
Okay, so I just want to read.
That fucking took me out, what you said right there.
Yeah. Stitching with Sisterly says he wasn't on the run from the cops during him recording this beats him. Bob Bolo was after. That is technically true. Yeah, you are right. He was, but I'm saying like uploaded. He uploaded it.
Yeah.
He posted it while he's on the run with the cops. So that's a correct. You are correct, and I said it all. Affirmative defense are ones that.
Oh yes, Smoky Blues Days. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, affirmative defense would be a defense where it's saying what I did was justified in some way, right? So she's right. Affirmative defenses are ones that mitigate or explain defendant's actions like insanity, necessity, self-defense, and entrapment. That is correct. I misspoke. And then there's the other idea of like an alternative theory of the crime, like that there's a reasonable alternative explanation that somebody else is responsible for the crime, which is what they are going for. They're not going for an affirmative defense. Thank you so much, Smoky Blue Days, for correcting me on that. Queen, when you get a chance, you can play the video.
We want to play it then. Okay, so what I was gonna say.
The poll was 57%.
Yeah, we got 165 votes. Okay, all right. Well, there we go. Then I guess we'll finish watching it and go from there.
Those like trigger warning. If you want to come back,
yes,
real trigger warning, guys.
Yeah, if you guys don't want to see it, I understand. Please leave and then come back in 5 minutes or so.
And I think maybe like I was gonna say maybe timestamp it for the parts, so just in case someone rewatches, they can skip it if they want. Maybe I don't know. That's an idea. But anyway, you can play it. Just process.
You just lied in my face and then you tried to say that you didn't say you did it. You did. You're a pathological liar. You are. And you project everything onto everybody else. That's what you do on your show every day. Every fucking day. Because what you just have to keep going. Like all you have to do is fucking put on your show where I'll go in the other room and you don't have to fucking talk to me or do anything. I'm not asking anything else for you other than just to be a body here, please.
Fine. Give me the fucking piece.
I'll give it to you after. I have no reason to fucking. That's the only fucking reason I fucking care is because I don't want to be alone with this. Because I have 4 kids and I can't be alone with this. I couldn't even tell you how to do it in business. You wouldn't have fucking come. That's how fucked up you are. I couldn't even tell you in advance because you wouldn't come. Just like the other day, the 2 weeks ago when you fucking said you were gonna come. I couldn't even fucking tell you in advance. in my life. Fucking force is going to take it, and then fucking say you're gonna stay in there fucking take it off. Fuck nothing, but anything. Paul, wake up! Guys, wake up! No, you're doing this to me! You're doing this to me! You just promised! You just fucking promised me! No, you're gonna make me have a nervous breakdown. You don't get to do this to me. You're not gonna do this to me.
Lie down. Lie down. What are you taking? Stop it. Stop it. You're waking up your children.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna wake up anyways. And I might as well get some fucking holding while I can because I'm not gonna be able to drive in the next fucking hour. You just promised me. You don't do that to people. You just promised me.
I'll make a deal with you right now.
No, I'm not giving the paper back first. It's not happening. I'll give it to you after. No, then that's your only option. Call KK.
Fuck, that's hard to listen to, man.
It's whoever
is somebody there with her besides him?
I
4
think
kids.
it
She has
is,
children.
sounds
I
like
heard her say, I heard her say, guys, wake up.
Yeah, what happened? What happened is basically she is taking some sort of pill. I think it's some sort of self-aborting pill.
We don't know.
We don't know, but it sounds something to that degree because she says that she's going to be not able to drive in 2 hours, and she's trying to wake up her 4 kids to go in the car and drive to his driveway, and then basically do it there. And he's telling her shh and trying to get a document that I don't know what the document is, but he's trying to get a document from her, and she's trying to use it as leverage to keep it there. He's trying to get it, and so he can leave. So he's trying to kind of calm her down to try to get this document and then leave, maybe trick her to do that. And basically, this is all is happening, and he's recording. Now, this could be just part of the recording. My guess, he might have just, he could have just picked the best part that makes him look good. It makes her look crazy.
It doesn't make her look crazy. I know what you mean, Ethan.
Why is she okay? So, what happened to why she's so mad?
Well, I mean, my understanding is that there seems to be. He came there earlier and he said, "I forgive you." I'm thinking that she might be a witness to his case or might have gave information towards his case. And
allegedly, okay, yeah.
Well, that's not allegedly. That was said on the article.
Okay.
Yeah, and he went over there, and she's mad about videos about him, and then she feels like he has blackmail material on her. Now, Masshold Mafia they've made multiple statements or allegations that he sometimes does that he gets information and uses that against. That was part of the documentary about the mistress thing on this about using material against them, like information. You can watch the documentary. It states like their documentary, their video, but they've stated that multiple times. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know nothing about that. That's their claim. That's their allegation. I don't know nothing about that. But it sounds like that's what she's saying in this video about some sort of blackmail material that she is alleging that he has on her. And it sounds like it's a very toxic situation, but that's my understanding.
Well, and everybody always has to keep in mind when someone's secretly recording somebody, you need to fucking make sure you pay attention to the person who's recording's behavior. Like he's so calm and he's so, you know what I mean? He's hardly saying anything, which doesn't seem like that is of his character. He's like kind of a loudmouth who runs his mouth all the time. So that's a huge red flag.
And this is to the state,
my opinion.
Ruthless Rosie said, like, is this a one-sided conversation? I can't hear anything. And that's because the person recording is purposefully saying nothing. And usually they are doing things like to antagonize the other person. And they know they're being recorded. So they say things like, shh, calm down. Technically, we do not even know when this occurred. Like we are assuming that this is the actual domestic incident, but we have no idea if that's true. I just want to say to this woman, and hopefully she doesn't hear me, because hopefully she is not, focusing on any of this on the internet. It is wrong that this was put on the internet, and it's not okay. And I'm just so sorry. Like this happened to this woman. It's It's unforgivable. It's inconceivable. And the fact that there are people like this running around, obviously in the world there are. The problem with the internet is these very small percentage of the population that is completely antisocial in their behavior, have no boundaries for hurting and harming people. They can come to parts of social media and they can have a much larger effect on more and more people than they would ever be able to have just in the real world with people like in their actual lives. And it's a big downside too.
Yeah, man, it's pretty bad. I mean, like, this is like very, very bad. I don't even understand. Like, I get the idea of you recording it for your protection, but to release it on your social media platform to be like, and then put that title, Medford woman verbally abuses Turtle Boy, endangers her 4 children, is like, holy fuck, bro. What are you doing?
And going back to what you were saying, B. Tim, it's not like for whatever your feelings on it, it's not even an option in the state of Massachusetts to record something for your own protection without the consent of the other person being recorded. So yeah.
B-Still says, then why are we repeating it? That's
very legit question, B-Still. We literally thought this video was going to be him like going live. I'm a little bit shocked. It's a very legit question. It's tough.
Yeah, when I came in here, they were literally finding out what kind of video it was. Like, that it was secretly recorded and all that stuff. Like,
I didn't think
what it was.
Yeah, I didn't think the guy would be recording his criminal activities and posting it on his website.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was going to be his face, like doing a live like he did after his arraignment, because that was kind of the first time I was familiar with his channel. Like, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's a pretty fucked up situation, but it does show that the whole situation being recorded. She said she's being recorded. Yeah, she says she's being recorded, but it sounded more like a question than an actual statement to me.
Yeah, and consent. And consent does not mean just telling the person. Like, they have to consent to it. If they don't want to be recorded, if you tell them I'm recording you and they say I don't want to be recorded, you can't continue to record them.
Yeah, this is a 2-party consent state.
Yeah,
so,
that's why it's not 2-party notification, it's 2-party consent.
Yeah, so he might have just posted a crime, a minor crime, while committing another crime while on the run from cops. While he's got 16 charges against him while he's on his own recognizance. Make that make sense. I wonder if this is the witness charged for intimidation. No, this is not one of the witnesses. This is another witness. That's not even precluded to the charges.
It's another person. It's like it's a whole other person. Unfortunately, CK. It's so funny. I always look at CK's name, but I've never tried to pronounce it out loud. CK Warhola. Ola. I agree. Unsettling is the word. It's really unsettling. And that's why the only thing that makes me feel even a slightly bit better is that, unlike in many situations like this that we encounter online, the authorities are already involved and already starting to constrain this behavior. And so I just hope that they can take control of the situation as soon as possible.
Yeah, Beth says, my ex would do this, record me, toll set up to make out me. I'm crazy. It's fucked up. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, the guy is just like a real piece of shit. I don't get it, man. It's not making any sense either.
Yeah, Big Bird, he has no restriction. He has no conditions on his bail right now. That was specifically what happened in the arraignment when it went up from district court to summary court. it's just really how the statutes are written that the superior court judge couldn't put the same kind of conditions on his bail. So all of his conditions, like his stay away, his protection orders, they were strict.
Look at what Big Bird said. The dispatcher lives in Medfield. Do you think this might be the dispatcher?
I don't know about the dispatcher. I read, I don't know.
You know, like the whole license plate person.
But that, I mean, I don't know. So it's not that we're saying that he's violating any particular bail conditions. She's a big word tells like common law. That's the Commonwealth laws are different than other ones. The Molly Go Lightly legal theory. No, we went over it. He has no particular conditions on his bail. He was released on his personal recognizance. All the restraining orders and the conditions that he'd had before, they actually were forced to not apply them this time because the Superior Court, through a statutory weird little thing, wasn't able to apply those. So it's not the fact that he violated a bail condition, except that if he gets arrested for committing a crime while out on his personal recognizance, that is going to have consequences, obviously. But it's not because of any particular condition of his bail.
See, I knew he was on some slick shit. Look at that. He recorded the new victim, and that is wiretapping in her home. She didn't know, obviously. That alone would have him held in the state of mass for bail violation.
Oh my God, sir! You need to this guy needs to call his lawyer. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, when you do stupid shit like this, you fuck around and find out. That's what he's doing right now.
Yeah,
Well, here, there's like a minute left on this. We'll listen to it and I'll take it down. So that way, if we need to private this, we will and edit it out for,
I'm sorry about that, Queen, by putting this,
That's okay. I just didn't know. I didn't know it was this bad, but,
Yeah.
It's already out there. He's got it out there, but I don't want to contribute. So,
yeah, it's my fault because I kind of just put it in the back chat and I didn't verify it when I listened to it. I was not doing
It's all good. All right, ready?
You really want to do this to me? You really want to fucking do this to me? Guess what? If I fucking crash down on the way there because I'm fucking having contractions to document to you, and I will stage my way and I will tell Julie everything. No, what you're doing is abuse. When you're forcing me to take those and saying you're going to stay with me and help me, that's abuse. That's abuse what you just did to me. You need to fucking stay to your word because that's not what you just. And you need to fucking stop doing this to me.
He needs to go back to bed. He needs to get fed. Put that boy back in bed right now. You heard me? Put that boy back in bed right now. This is not good.
Yeah, you're damn fucking right it's not. You're damn fucking right it's not. You need to stop doing this to me. It's abuse what you're doing right now.
All right, it's over.
That's over, man. Fucking this
is a transcript with at the bottom here.
This is
going back to what Mystery said, because it's important to point out. First, Mystery, there are no restrictions on his release right now. There are none. He has no restrictions where he has to stay away from anybody in particular. He's basically just given the standard things like obey the law. But Mystery is correct. If he is arrested and charged with a crime, then that's going to affect his bail. But if he's not arrested and charged for this, that's not going to affect. This is not going necessarily. It's not going to affect his being out on bond.
Look, the very first thing it says to, and then it says somebody I'm still recording. Yeah, I know I do too. What I know, go be with one, called it. I called you. You stood there and you lied to and it says it right there that somebody I'm still recording. Yeah, I know. I
don't know if that could be.
No idea.
Yeah.
Right. Just, that's just like the first thing that's said in there.
Yeah. The first thing
that's probably why people think that she knows. They're going off of this.
Right. But at the same time, if the BOLO thing, like if they are on the lookout for him to arrest him, it was for a domestic incident, not for, recording her again without her consent. So if he gets arrested for a domestic incident, then it would affect his bond. If they don't arrest him and don't charge him, then it's not going to.
Yeah. If she's not sound mind.
Well, here he is right here. He got arrested once, and listen to him.
Look for Chevy Silverados. Are those cops? Every time I see a Chevy Silverado, I'm like, oh, any Silverado.
Holy fuck.
Silverado's coming. Oh, man. What's that? Is that a Silverado? That's probably have like PTSD or some shit. I don't know. What the fuck is that? Is that a Silverado? Chevy Silverado. Like, Silverados everywhere. That's not a cop, is it? Maybe they'll try killing me next. I don't know. I thought you were a cop. You look like a cop. I thought that was a cop. I really thought that was a cop. That scared me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. This is how I live my fucking life. Paranoid. I really thought I was about to get arrested. That looked like. Did you guys see that?
That is pretty eerie when you know that he's
God,
got cops looking for him.
And look, and now he's really wanted. Look, now he really is wanted. And can you imagine how what he's doing right now that he's wanted? Now that he's really.
But bitch, it's almost like he saw to it, like he made sure it happened or something. Like he's been doing so many things. It seems like from what I'm hearing, to make sure that he gets in trouble. Oh man, sounds crazy.
You're right. I mean, to an extent, you're right, Cappy, because all the things that he was arrested for and that he's been arraigned for were not things that they had to investigate to uncover. They were things that he loudly and proudly did publicly and stands by.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
like a lot of self-snitching here he did to himself. Like kind of a self-destruct type thing.
Yeah, and
Crazy.
I just and I don't understand how you can defend this actions. Like, these are not actions of a sound mind, in my opinion. That's an opinion. I'm not a psychologist. That's just opinion. But these are not actions of a sound mind where a person gets off, he should be kind of keeping things clean and then does things like this and then posts the video. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, no, I find that the actions of that recording and uploading that recording with that title absolutely revolting. They could be 1000% legal. That's fine. But it is absolutely repulsive to me that behavior, legal or not legal.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, yeah, he's it's bad. I watched the whole hearing and I'm very well versed in mass laws. I don't know if it was to me, but I definitely not interfering on mass bail laws say no contact with the victim or RL or stay away.
Yeah, so during his arraignment, Big Bird, you have to obviously he's always restrained from committing crimes, right? But his actual protective orders against the witnesses that he has said to intimidate, not necessarily this woman, but in the actual charges he had, those existed. Those were upheld by the court, but through a legal technicality, when it was upgraded from district superior court, this video that we didn't finish watching, all those restrictions are lifted. The judge literally doesn't have the statutory ability to put those restraining orders on him as a condition of his bond, unless certain different requirements were met, which the prosecutor wasn't going to do. But obviously, you're always not allowed to go and commit a crime against a person or your victim.
Well, that goes with the no shit Sherlock comment. You don't commit crimes while you're facing more criminal charges. Just like, I think that should be like something people know when they're facing 16 charges, and some of them you can spend like 10 years in jail. I mean, I would probably make sure I wouldn't cross jaywalk at that point if I was in this position. Just you know what I mean? Good egg.
Yeah, I know, but you're applying,
Yeah.
Like the rationality of, like, you know, go ahead,
We
Queen.
ready to play this
let's
hearing?
play.
All right.
This is the hearing from 3 days ago.
So, okay, so he goes to this hearing, he goes home, and then he gets into an argument with this lady, and they put a bolo out for him because of that argument. He comes home and uploads it to the internet, and here we are.
This is 3 days ago that we're playing this hearing about him eventually coming out with the bail hearing and all that stuff. So we're going to be watching that. It's going to be interesting.
I don't need a summary. What are you suggesting as conditions?
Your Honor, we're looking for stayaways again. One of the problems we've had, Judge, and I've spoken to Mr. Bradle about this several times, the defendant has, in the Commonwealth's opinion, continued to violate the original conditions of bail, including those that were amended by Your Honor. If Your Honor were to look at the video, provided Mr. Bradle has received a copy as well with thumb drive, it's clear that Mr. Kearney is encouraging his minions, his followers, in the context of his blogs and YouTubes, etc., to continue to harass witnesses. He'd make a statement such as, "I can't do this, and I'm not telling you to do this, but you can do this, but I'm not saying you can't do this. Don't put words in my mouth. You know, read between the lines. Read between the lines on approaching these witnesses." And he's made similar statements several times. And it's the Commonwealth's contention that this is a very disingenuous way that the defendant is indirectly encouraging others to indirectly harass these witnesses and to intimidate these people and take it in front of their homes, etc. What I can represent, Your Honor, is that we had the grand jury proceedings underway. The Commonwealth was aware that most likely this matter would be before Your Honor or before the Superior Court in relatively short order. We did not proceed with bail revocation in the district court. However, I can assure Your Honor and would like the defendant to be on notice that if there's one more instance where he is online suggesting to people or encouraging people either directly, disingenuously, or whatever the case may be, and encouraging somebody to read between the lines, that we will be back before the court seeking a bail revocation as well as a dangerousness hearing. I would ask Your Honor to fashion some type of order that Your Honor believes would be effective in precluding this defendant from going online and encouraging his followers to essentially continue his pattern of intimidation.
Yeah, but he's really not responsible for what his followers do, you know?
I
mean,
yeah, he's not.
No, you
he can't. He can't. I mean, I thought it was broad. Like that was probably another issue. Like, do you think that he was like a little bit too broad?
You can't be held responsible for what other people do. I mean, come on, this is the internet. You don't even know half of these people, so I don't understand how they're going to be held responsible. You know, how he can be held responsible for what his followers do.
By the way,
I get telling him, you know, reading between the lines and the dog whistle and stuff like that. I understand. Like, I get what they're saying, but
yeah, I think that's the issue. Is like it's a bit broad. I mean, like, you know, because you don't really know exactly the language to look out for that he's doing. I mean, if he's going to someone's house and standing in there,
asking me to order.
You go. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I just hit that by accident. Go ahead.
I mean, it's easy. Like if he's standing in front of protesting someone's house, or if he's telling people social security numbers on his live streams, like he did, you know, that is harassment. That's an easy thing to do, like to figure out. But if he's just like, if he's being like just talking about the case, is that witness intimidation to talk about the case? You know what I mean? It's a little bit. It needs to be a little bit tailored, a little bit, I would say, but that it's a little bit blurry.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no, you know, fine line. It's just real. You know, what does this fall under, and can he get away with it? Can his lawyer find something to get, you know, use to get away with it?
Get away with what?
what he's doing, like freedom of speech. I mean, but
well, that's for the trial. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be his defense that he's a news reporter.
Yeah, Queen. So like when the stuff that he's being arraigned for, it's not like, oh, he incited his followers to do it. It's things he specifically did. This prosecutor is just trying to get like even stronger conditions on his bail to make him stop paying even more. Yeah, but it's not. It is too broad, and you're going to see what happens. The judge is like, I can't do any of this, unfortunately, according to the law.
Right. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Judge, you're asking me to write it.
I'm sorry?
What do you want me to say?
Well, that he should not encourage and intimidate directly or indirectly to have his supporters or encourage his supporters to approach witnesses.
That's what the district court said. You have to stay away and have no contact with the witnesses directly or indirectly.
Or I think perhaps language that prohibits him from encouraging others to do so. Judge, it may come as far as not even mentioning the names of the victims that appear here. I certainly understand that there are First Amendment arguments that are being made, and we're extremely sensitive to that. We're extremely sensitive to the fact that the defendant claims to be a journalist covering the case involving Karen Reed. We're aware of all of those things. However, the lines blur, the lines cross, and he is hiding behind the guise of a journalist, encouraging basically as an activist.
Yeah, so he is hiding behind it as a journalist, like activist, a journalist, whatever,
Yeah, I mean, because for instance, the judge reamed him before, basically said, hey, what about the 20 other people that are coming with you? Are they journalists too? You know what I mean? You can't be an activist and a journalist because you're kind of inciting people to do things that they normally wouldn't do it without your direction. You know what I mean? It seems like you're not reporting on a protest that's occurring naturally. You're there and you're inciting the protest and you're inciting the situation. And also by, that could be a problem. Now, if it was just a normal protest in front of the courthouse, I don't think that would be a huge big deal. But when you're going in front of places of businesses and you're affecting their livelihoods, when you're doing this protest and you're destroying this man's business, you're going to this man's town hall job, you're messing with that, you're harassing these people, you're going online and offline harassment, that steps over the line of being a journalist and also over the line of being an activist, in my opinion. I think you're being kind of a vigilante where you're trying to just enforce your own sense of what you believe is justice or stuff, and that's not your place. These people are not arrested, they're innocent. Just like Karen Reed's innocent, you cannot do that to innocent people. That's just my thoughts. I will say that I listened to this several times and read all the statutes cited by the judge, read newspaper. Okay. Well, you did more research on that than me, but that's the entire conflict.
That's what we're going to ask Your Honor to preclude him from doing, and perhaps preclude him from mentioning the names of these particular witnesses in a context that would encourage others to approach them or communicate with them. I know it's very difficult. If you see it, you know what it is, but it's very difficult to define it. And I think it's extremely disingenuous of the defendant to say he's not engaging in it when he's saying.
Hold on 1 second.
Put your phone on silent, sir. Look at that guy, what the fuck are you doing?
Right, nothing like a call during court. Here we go.
Yeah, sir, not a good time to put your phone on silent.
Go ahead, Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think it's extremely disingenuous.
His face, right?
He's still looking at the guy.
The expression on his face, are you serious with the fuck shit today?
Yeah, that's not the face you want to judge to look at you with.
And it was like Christmas music. It wasn't even like a
I know, the most wonderful time of the year.
Not for a certain Turtle Boy, but
disingenuous of the defendant to say, I'm not encouraging this. when he's using terms such as read between the lines.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bradle.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. We would just maintain our objections that we've earlier made before the court as to stay-away orders on probable cause, First Amendment due process grounds. Ask that you just maintain that for the record in terms of our objection. As to any prior restraint on Mr. Kearney's speech, you know, counsel for the Commonwealth is having trouble articulating it because it's such a problematic area. I think that, you know, how are you going to do this? Mr. Kearney has a First Amendment right to encourage people to exercise their First Amendment rights. I've advised my client about the notion of indirect contact. When you tell someone to contact someone you can't contact on your behalf, that's indirect contact. He can tell people under the First Amendment to, you know, he can share his views with his readers or with his viewers, and they can do what they want. He's allowed to encourage them to speak out against what he sees as corruption, what he sees as mismanagement of the Reed case, etc. I've advised him about the notion of indirect contact. We have a disagreement, counsel and I, a respectful disagreement apparently, about what constitutes violating these orders. These orders are, in effect, prior restraints on his First Amendment activity, Your Honor. So they must be narrowly tailored and strictly construed. And in this case, we've discussed it. My client and I think we know as best we can what can and can't be done. In terms of speaking out, that's not harassment, that's not witness intimidation, that's journalism. And it's cloaked by the First Amendment, Your Honor. So I would object to any attempt to sort of craft a prior restraint here, Your Honor. And we'd object to any sort of effort in that regard.
All right, your client consents to the stay away, no contact, direct or indirect, with the various victims.
We don't, Your Honor.
Don't.
We object for the record.
You object.
Yes. Yep.
All right, Mr. Mello, under what statute do I have the authority to compel Mr. Kearney to stay away and have no contact with the victims?
Well, Your Honor, it's common practice, as Your Honor is aware.
I'm not talking about common practice, Mr. Mello. I'm talking about what statute authorizes me. This is not a district court proceeding, which is subject to Section 58 of Chapter 276. This is a proceeding under Section 87, of 57 of Chapter 276, or I have authority under Section 87 of Chapter 276 to impose conditions with consent. You don't have to ask for personal recognizance. You can ask for bail. You can ask for dangerousness if you think that's appropriate. But under what statute do I have the authority to set conditions to which Mr. Kearney does not consent?
I believe that, well, obviously, Your Honor, we would have to sign the terms and conditions of bail. We could do that through the context of a dangerousness area, which the Commonwealth prefers not to employ at this point in time.
You haven't moved for dangerousness.
I'm sorry?
You haven't moved for dangerousness. You haven't invoked 58A.
Right, we have not.
Right. So what statute authorizes me, absent Section 58A, to impose conditions on Mr. Kearney's release if you're asking or consenting to personal cognizance?
I think
or even if you're stipulating to a particular bail. Section 87 is different than Section 57 is different than Section 58.
I understand that, Your Honor. I think in total, both Sections 57 and 58 would give Your Honor the authority to impose certain conditions, especially when it comes to the witnesses. I think the challenge here, Judge, is we have competing interests in each other. We have the competing interest of a claim of journalism and
Section, you said 57 and 58 together give the court authority. Section 58 applies to the district court, right? And Section 57 applies to the Superior Court, right? And 58 has a provision in it that says, if the judge, I'm going to paraphrase now, of the district court determines it to be necessary, the defendant may be ordered to abide by specified restrictions on his personal associations or conduct. I quote that now to you in Section 58. I quoted it before in my earlier decision, right? Section 57 has no such provision, right?
Well, hold on. What did you talk about, Good Egg? When I first watched this, I got the impression that the judge was annoyed at the state for their request, but it becomes clear he's annoyed that he can't do more to restrain Kearney.
Yeah.
It gets a little technical, because at first people people just watching it and they're just like, oh, look, the judge, they're wrong. But what the judge is basically saying is like, he's really like, give me a statute or try to do this a different way where I have the ability to put conditions on his bail, because what you're asking for now, personal recognizance in Superior Court, I can't put conditions on him, like stay away from this person, don't contact this person. And the judge says later, he's like, I'm hamstrung. You're hamstringing me because I can't put a condition on. It'll get overturned on appeal. So this is the judge that upheld the no contact, stay away orders of his bail conditions from before, when he tried to get rid of them. So he really kind of, all of a sudden had a lot more freedom, because of this like legal technicality. And we'll see what he did with it. Doesn't seem like he did anything good with it.
Yeah, I think he.
Right. I don't think the judge is going to be so nice next time he sees him.
The judge is not on his. I've seen prior hearings with this judge. He doesn't play games. He's very strict, and he's not going to be very fucking happy. Let's just be that he's very, very strict. So expect not good results for Mr. Aiden Kearney, Turtle Boy.
All right, here we go.
I would argue, Your Honor, that although it indicates that the district court judge may do it, certainly comes under the purview of the Superior Court. I don't think the intent of the legislature was to narrow the authority of this particular court and make it less than that of the district court. It's normally that these matters are instituted in the district court before they arrive at Your Honor's level, and I believe that's why the legislature perhaps put that language in, but I don't believe it precludes this court from doing so either.
You have a case that says that? I mean, the statutes are different.
I wasn't expecting.
You came in asking me to set a set of release conditions that you knew Mr. Kearney wasn't going to consent to. He objected to it before in the district court.
Judge.
I think the district court was entirely within its power to set that condition, and it was appropriate for me to uphold that condition. I think it's an appropriate condition to be imposed in this case in the Superior Court, but I don't know if I have the power to do it under the statutes, and I'm looking for some authority that you might have indicating that I have the power to do it.
What I would ask Your Honor to order is that he comply with all laws. The general provisions when someone is released on bail, the Commonwealth will take it from there.
If he's released on bail, he doesn't have to sign anything with respect to personal recognizance, right?
No.
You're asking me to release him on his personal recognizance, right? You're not asking for me to set bail, and you're not giving me any authority to indicate that I have the right or the power to impose conditions on his release.
I would suggest a dollar bail, Judge, if that's what.
Well, excuse me for a second. I have the power to impose conditions of release under Section 87, including stay away, no contact orders, with the defendant's consent, right?
Understood.
Okay. So.
I mean, I realize I can appear before Your Honor asking for a high bail, which I don't believe the Commonwealth would be honest to do. We don't expect Mr. Kearney to not appear, at least at this point in time. The normal condition of release, Judge, would be that he comply with all statutes. If Your Honor is not inclined at this point in time to fashion an order, the Commonwealth certainly appreciates the court's position.
I don't have to order him not to commit crimes. If he commits another crime, he'll be in front of the court on a violation notice.
Well, that might be sooner than
then
you
he'll
think.
be in the court under a violation notice then.
Yeah, it happened sooner than we thought it would happen.
Yeah. I don't have to order that. He's already subject to the law as everybody else is.
We would indicate that's an indirect violation and we would proceed back to the court, Judge. I'll accept Your Honor's ruling.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Bradle?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right. All right, I'm going to, on the Commonwealth's recommendation, release Mr. Kearney on personal recognizance. The Commonwealth not now looking for bail. I do find that the Commonwealth has asked for conditions to be set on Mr. Kearney's release, but the Commonwealth provides me with no authority that I have the power to do that over Mr. Kearney's objection. The statutes are a little bit convoluted. General Laws 276, Section 87 allows me to set conditions on release if the defendant consents to those conditions. Here, Mr. Kearney doesn't consent to those conditions, and the provision in Chapter 276, Section 58 Paragraph 1, last sentence, which I quoted before, authorizes the district court to set conditions on personal association or conduct, including avoiding all contact with an alleged victim of a crime. That provision does not appear in Section 57. The provision that applies in this case for the setting of bail in the Superior Court. And while that provision, Section 57, authorizes the setting of conditions in 209A and related type cases, this is not one of those enumerated in Section 57, which allows me to set conditions on Mr. Kearney's bail over his objection. This is a bail setting under the first paragraph of Section 57, which does not have the same language as in Section 58. So I am hamstrung, at least with the authority given to me by the Commonwealth. So I'm going to release Mr. Kearney on bail. He knows that if he commits a crime, he'll be back in front of the court in quick order. So you'll make sure of that, Mr. Mello, I'm sure.
Well, then.
Jesus Christ. If it wasn't such a serious matter, man, I mean, this guy is like, we listened to that video, man, this guy is a real piece of work. I don't understand this anyone supporting this piece of shit, to be honest with you. But that's just me. This guy's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, after that recording was played, I cannot believe I do you guys think the glare is gonna stand behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was looking at the chat, like, oh,
wow,
like, she's a psycho. It's a frame, but that's not surprising. So,
I
mean, responding to his takes on it is not going to be worth our while because it's just like that's crazy. Like, no,
I mean,
and you know what? This is like B-Tim said, like, this is too serious to, like, the crimes being committed here and the havoc and the chaos being committed here are too serious to reduce to.
Because now you have, looking up license plate numbers, harassing witnesses for a murder trial, to now domestic abuse, what was it? Domestic, I keep on forgetting. Domestic assault and battery and witness intimidation. And then instead of turning himself in like a sane person would, he posts a video of the alleged crime where he might or might not have gotten consent for a two-party consent state. I mean, recording. This is just completely bonkers to me. Like, this is ridiculous. And the thing is, a lot of people, I think, want to combine the Karen Read case because that's how conspiracies work. You make them bigger and bigger if they don't make sense. They can't just separate things and say, hey, Karen Read case is one. Turtle Boy is the second case. Turtle Boy has committed, he might have, let's just say I gave him the benefit of the doubt and he's 100% pure of heart, believed that Karen Read was innocent, even though he said he never donated a dime to her defense and he never would donate a dime to her defense. But let's say pure of heart, he truly fought for justice and didn't do this for a profit motive, that he just did this. He still committed crimes. I mean, just like the Batman example. Batman's beating up people. That's still assault. He's still committing crime. He might be saving orphans, but he's still a criminal.
I like you said the Batman thing. It's true. Like it's true. Like this idea that if he's 1000% sincere in these things that he believes, and he believes that his tactics, even though if he did commit them the way they're said, they are outside of the law, he believed they weren't. He believed he was justified. That's not going to change the fact that he might get prosecuted and convicted for breaking any laws.
Yeah, he broke the law. And I think like it's very disingenuous. I think any YouTuber that sits there and tries to sell a conspiracy narrative for this guy going away or going to trial is, in my opinion, full of shit. Okay, I'm sorry my language is a little brash. I'm cursing. I know some people get offended by that. I mostly get offended by actions, not people cursing or what people do. But this guy did these things. He recorded these actions. He posted it on his channel. He published his own evidence against him. And now they got his phone, his cell phone records, and they probably got more evidence against him. And then he goes to this woman, tries to get an unknown document from her. And now instead of turning himself in, because an innocent man would turn himself in, an innocent man would go to the cops and say, hey, this woman has put trumped up charges on me. He would walk in there with his lawyer with the recording and say, hey, this woman has made up this lie about me. But instead, what does he do? He goes online, he runs away for fucking a day and a half, and he proceeds to post basically videos to manipulate his audience to believe that the woman actually, put her kids in danger and she's a terrible person and all this stuff, instead of taking accountability for his actions. His actions put himself in that situation. His actions put himself in that courtroom. He should not have done. He should have stayed to just basically reporting on the case, but he didn't. He was completely crossed the line in both activism and also when it came to reporting on the case. I mean, how is it reporting on a case if you post someone's social security number? How is it reporting on a case when you're when you're looking up people's license plate numbers from an unlicensed, unlicensed officer? That is not fucking being a journalist, and that is not being a protesting. Okay. Sorry.
I agree. And I understand, and I totally get like that frustration with it too. I agree with Senrisa. She said Robin Hood theory does not hold up well in modern day courts, which that's it. Like that's true. Even if you want to apply truly good-hearted intentions, like Robin Hood type intentions to him, whether you do or not, again, like that's not a thing that allows us to be vigilantes in the law. And then going to what you said, B-Tim, honestly, having dealt with a particular YouTube creator who just supported and advocated for, and honestly, like in many ways facilitated somebody who was just flouting all court rules, laws, sense of decency, and hurting and abusing women and children in his family. It was really difficult, and the criminal law, like the criminal courts, did not catch up with this guy until like the end of it, like after a solid more than a year of watching when this guy was finally arrested. And it was very frustrating to watch during that whole time. I think I'll be able to follow this since there's already a criminal proceedings happening, and we can like follow the actual case,
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you so much for gifting those 10 memberships. I seen you. Thank you, love. I appreciate you.
I think this is going to be a very interesting trial because it's going to be interesting precedents. Because if this action is allowed, that's going to open up the floodgates to a lot of idiots online that are going to think that this is appropriate behavior to do. Because then they can say, look, this guy got off on it. He was allowed to do this action, and he made hundreds of thousands of dollars. And even his fans paid for his defense. What consequences? There's only benefits to it. And that's the truth. And it needs to be, there's an old Chinese saying, kill the chicken to scare the monkeys. You know, you got to make an example of someone. And this guy's got to be made an example so the other idiots don't do the same thing to make money. Because these days, when people online see a possibility of making money for doing stupid shit, they will do it 100% of the time. Just like the ice cream lick challenge, where people saw someone lick the bottom of the ice cream in the store, or lick toilet seats, or a freaking iPod challenge, or any stupid shit that people can do to get clout on this fucking app or any app, people will do. And someone's got to be made an example of. And this guy needs to be made an example of. Might be a small amount of time, a large fine, but something's got to be done to stop this, because this is getting too far, too far.
I agree. It was kind of catch-22 there, Tim, though, because the only reason why he attracted the attention of the authorities and they cracked down on it is because he got to a certain level of public attention. So the idea is also that, like, people could continue to do this, create less public attention, and go under the radar of the authorities, but it's also a good thing that they didn't get so big. And then this idea of, like, okay, they got so big, they caused all this damage, but then that might trigger the authorities getting involved, right? It really is just like a shitty situation, like, in general.
I mean, yeah.
When you said, like, lick the ice cream TikTok thing or whatever, I'm, like, eating an ice cream cone, and I didn't know what you were talking about. I'm like, can he see me right now?
No, I cannot see. I was just taking, like, an example of the worst fucking trends online. And
I had this moment where I'm like, what?
Has he got a spy camera in my house? Is Betty right? No, I'm joking. That was true. No.
Look, and Lever of the Law says, and now it's taking attention away from the initial cause.
Yeah. Think about this. If you believe Karen Reed's innocent, this guy is sucking up the money that could go to her defense. Think about that. He didn't donate one dime to her. He said on a live stream that he wouldn't donate a dime to that woman. And he believes she's innocent? Okay. You don't donate any money, but yet you just take all the money. Okay. And now what? You're making her case look terrible. You're fucking just.
Well, he said on there like 6 times, he's like, it'll just be me, or he's like, they can arrest me like they did Karen Reed. They can take me to jail and lock me up like they did Karen Reed. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
he said like 4 or 5 times, 6 times, something like that.
Yeah, he basically he might go to jail sooner than Karen Reed if she's guilty. I mean, she might not even go to jail. He might be the only one going to jail. She might get off, and he might do time in jail. He might, you know what I mean? Because of his own actions, because he's stupid.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy that he goes to jail and she literally walks free. You know, well, he only has himself to blame for that shit. The lick at the toilet is what made me want to side-eye my dang freshly cracked open strawberry hard lemonade. Yeah, that's for sure. It's harassing people who are not convicted of anything because you believe that they are guilty of whatever. Yeah, it's mob mentality. And you see that with a lot of true crime. I mean, like, Goody could probably tell you about that. Like, a lot of cases, like a couple of cases that she followed, right?
Well, Smokey Blue Day said, what irritates me is that some of the creators really supporting TV, Turtle Boy, were like staunchly anti-hogs, which is heels on the ground, which I was staunchly anti-heels on the ground. But how can one seriously not see it's the same thing?
It's worse.
You're totally correct. The one thing that is different that a lot of people who might have been introduced to those creators during that moment when they were like anti these particular heels on the ground people, they might not have the history that if you just go back in time, that is the opposite of like how they generally have behaved going forward. So that was never really how they felt, or they just weren't really principled about that in that way at all, because obviously it doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Ellie Joe.
Merry Christmas.
Dang, Katie K, Merry Christmas. She donated another 10 memberships. Holy shit. You're going to have these people pissed the fuck off at us.
I know, right? But
all right, here we go. We're going to watch the last minute of this and we're done.
Okay.
Anything else? We need a pretrial conference and a pretrial hearing date.
I would suggest something in February for pretrial conference. Later February.
So February 7th, all right, for a pretrial conference?
Okay.
I would ask for the 16th.
16th, sure. I'm going to be, it's not a good week. Actually, no, 16 is fine. February 16, that's fine.
And then something in April for pretrial hearing.
Also the 16th. So is that it?
April 16th.
April 16th?
Yes.
Can't do it, I'm sorry. Can we go to the following week?
Sure.
23rd?
Yes. Is that okay?
It is.
Mr. Kearney, you're being released on your own personal recognizance. Please be advised, the law on personal, if you're arrested for a new crime, you can be held without bail for up to 90 days, and the failure to appear to court appearances result in a fine of up to $50,000 and/or 5 years in jail. Your matters continued at 2:16 at 2 p.m. for pre-trial conference and 4:23 at 2 p.m. for pre-trial hearing.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
So yeah, I can only imagine how upset the judge is going to be when he sees him back in there.
Yeah, it was quite quick. It was like literally 3 days. I mean, there's no way this guy's not gonna get hit with like everything. I mean, everything he's gonna get hit with. Like you didn't even turn yourself into the cops. Like, what the fuck? Do you
Mystery said, is it me or is he smug acting right now? Well, I did go back. I watched this arraignment the day it happened. But I just went back and looked at his Twitter. And yeah, like the day after the arraignment, he was like, oh, like, yeah, they decided to up my charges and now they can't give me any of these conditions. And like, we won. And he was, I mean, like, he's tweeting at the like the attorney, the prosecutor, and like the Karen Reed case and like all sorts of stuff. So, you know, he felt like he was very smug. He won and things were going his way. So we'll see. You know, unfortunately, the judges can't just like follow their gut, and like people think like judges can do like whatever, right? But just because someone's behaving badly doesn't mean like the judge can just assign all these punishments to force the person.
Yeah, he has to follow the letter of the law.
Like, or even as it's going, like, you know, as a proceeding is going on, this idea that the judge can do certain things to like restrain their behavior. There's like contempt of court, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, we just want to see the person, you know, controlled, and it doesn't really happen like that. And I'm definitely going to follow this case though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be following. This is because this is kind of our wheelhouse, man. I mean, like this is basically people that are overstepping what they should be doing, and when it comes to a true crime case.
Yeah.
This guy is, honestly, he's probably the worst of the bunch. I mean, like he's actually did it so badly that he's facing charges. I mean,
well, it's a unique situation. We don't know if he's really the worst as opposed to where he's at. Like he's in Massachusetts. This other idea is that it's also a high profile case in its own right. It was a case that was getting national headlines. It is a case where some of the people he was intimidating are law enforcement officers, which, like, you know, sometimes that can get your hand smacked a lot faster, right or wrong. But yeah, I do agree that's like in our wheelhouse. To me, it's more in my area of interest than the Karen Reed case because I'm not really true crime, but I am interested in this idea of when the internet
and
social media oversteps and goes,
and you really don't need to really look into the Karen Reed case to really look into his case. You just basically say, I mean, you do have to like a little bit when it comes to the witnesses that he's intimidating, like the names of the witnesses and why. I guess his motive for doing it would be the only real reason to look into it. But you know, that's what I would probably say. But you can probably get like a kind of glance at it.
Yeah.
This guy's a real narcissist. Yeah, he is a real fucking, in my opinion, he definitely does have narcissistic tendencies.
Hi, Crazy Crystal. Yeah, it's almost my bedtime too, but I guess in general, I really have always had a hard time wrapping my mind around the idea that people who get an opinion about something they hear about on the internet, thinking that they are entitled to do and say and behave in any way they want about that situation, whether that is creating an internet campaign that eventually like spills over into the real world and reaches out and touches people going through tragedy and trauma and grief who are living their actual lives. And then all of a sudden they get, out of left field, they just get smacked with like this insanity from social media that you never saw coming. You don't know how to fight. You don't know how to deal with. It's always really upset me.
That's what brought us to listen. You know what? Speaking of that, that's what brought me to YouTube. Was the Michael Long case when he did that to Kelly.
Yeah, both of us.
There was only about 30 of us that stood up for Kelly and her kids.
And and he's in prison now, and not because of us, but it is because of what he was.
Yeah, I couldn't believe
a criminal.
I couldn't believe when I saw like the Glare literally accuse a man of being a kid, like allegedly, like possibly being a kitty diddler because he had a bicycle cart, like a bicycle cart thing. I was like, what the fuck? That's how crazy that case was. Like everyone was getting accused of crazy shit for that thing. And there was a lady that was talking about bring your guns and shit. And there was like QAnon shit was going on with that, the Michael Long case. That's weird. Just like cult mentality, man. It's like some of these cases, man.
Yeah. You know what it is? It was as insane as it gets. And I hear people sometimes poke at that particular creator about it. And some people want to know more. And because it is repulsive what that creator and, one or two other creators did. But they kind of know they're safe because the only people who are kind of around who know what they did are not going to try to like show everybody what they did again, because the whole point was to protect the victims, like these especially the child victims and the adult victims too. And the only way to really tell you if you didn't see it would be to reiterate and go over the horrific things these YouTubers did to victimize strangers in the real world that they did not know and completely strip them of all dignity and privacy again.
Yeah.
And so because we kind of care about that, they know that they're never going to get like fully, it's never going to be worth like making a clip channel, because people's real lives are not worth you getting.
Well, no, but she's a 12-year-old little girl, and I mean, they're kids, and social media is fucking crazy. They don't need to be they don't need to be advocated for. They don't need to be fucked with. They don't need to be brought back up here. Like I said, motherfuckers that do that can suck a fat.
Oh shit!
And that is exactly what I was referring to, because that's not cool. Leave them alone. Leave that family alone. Leave them kids alone. Let them grow. Let them, have their privacy.
Yep. But going back to what Tim said, yeah, it was anything you've seen. It was as bad or worse. It was
awful. And then you had Annie 10 to Life that stood behind him, and holy hell.
Yeah,
she gained subs, but he gained a lot of he got what was like $300,000 fundraiser, or what was it, GoFundMe? Was it 300,000 that he got?
The GoFundMe went to 250,000. That doesn't include Cash Apps or wish lists or anything like that.
Well, it's an interesting thing to study, because you can really think it's like basically the same thing that kind of happened with Turtle Boy, where a conspiracy theory brings a group of people together to basically, and then you have these leaders or that kind of lead this group, and eventually they just start accusing people and start doing things that normal good people don't do, but these people start doing because one person basically leads them. And it's the same formula you see with a lot of.
It is the same formula over and over again. You are completely right.
So
listen, he had ladies singing, "Oh, Sophie girl."
You can see that with the Kylie
donating stuff, doing news. What was it news articles and stuff on him, or trying to, it was fucking crazy. It was just insane.
Yeah, and then you've seen it with the Kylie Rodney. You had one leader, Ryan Upchurch, the conspiracy. You've seen it with Dylan Rounds. You had JT leading the conspiracy, and then you had his little groupies like Tyler Feller and Doug on the things. leading a group of
And they're
people.
burning it down over there. It's bad. It's real bad.
And then you see this with every single major news true crime case. Well, not every, but some that has like the capacity of a conspiracy. And you're seeing it now with this case with the Karen Reed. But the only difference is one of the leaders are actually getting punished by law, or actually at least investigated, because it's becoming such an epidemic. It's becoming such a problem in society that now the law is catching up to it and say, okay, you can't do this shit anymore. We have to put restraints on this because you're destroying the concept of law and order at this point, and the ability of the people who are innocent until proven guilty.
Right. So the people, the channels that did what they did during the Michael Long case, one of them has gotten really, really big. I think has over 1 million subs now. And we're talking about from like 15,000 at the time. And they're going to be okay because they are running a big business now. And so they change their behavior. I'm not saying they change their behavior for any sort of internal reason. I don't know. But they're not going to do the things that they did because you can't do that and keep 1 million+ subscriber channel. But
no, but she did some of that on TikTok though too, and brought it over. You know what I mean?
You know how I feel about, and you know how I feel like it makes me angry. It makes me angry to this day. But she reformed because she can't risk her channel. This other channel has not reformed, and eventually there will be a
wasn't it crazy that they raised all that money and then that law firm took it all from them?
Oh yeah, that's the one thing I would like to know more about. The whole it was not possible that they spent $250,000 in lawyer fees on a custody case in 3 months. I think we can all agree with that. But apparently, that's what happened.
They did not spend that much money.
Tracy Schuller says, "Is ML still in Mexico? Before I go to bed, I will give my 30-second thing where ML is. ML is not still in Mexico. In December of 2021, around Christmas time or for Christmas, he was arrested in Mexico by the federales on an international warrant. He was held in Mexico from December all the way to July when he was extradited to Collin County, Texas. He sat in Collin County jail for another long amount of time, for another 8 months.
Yeah,
and then in March,
9 months, wasn't it?
Yeah, in March of 2022, he took a plea deal. He pled guilty. They got rid of the aggravated kidnapping to avoid a trial, and he pleaded guilty to the original felony charge, which was interference with child custody. They gave him the max sentence, which was 2 years with time served, though his time in Mexico luckily did not count. He's been in prison. So he's been incarcerated since December for 2 full years now, since December 2021. He will be released from prison on July 4th of this year, 2024.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So, but his main victim, the oldest daughter, has a lifetime protection order against him, and his rights were terminated to all, her and all the siblings. So I just hope they're doing good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's what a turn of events, man. I never thought this guy would actually do this shit, man, this Turtle Boy. I actually thought it would be quiet and he would just basically sit at home and just defend himself. I didn't think he would be, trying to, getting documents from a woman and all that stuff, and then allegedly, assaulting her, and then go on the run from the cops, and then while on the run with the cops, post this video that he recorded. And, I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. I have no clue. This is the weirdest situation I've seen thus far this year. Definitely.
Well, there should definitely be an update, hope maybe by tomorrow, but I have to go to bed tonight, Queen. But
yeah, me too.
Tomorrow, I will be here tomorrow. And yeah, this was an interesting one.
Yeah, Queen, I gotta go to bed too.
Have a good night.
Good night, guys. I appreciate you hanging out, and I know I got to get to bed too. I'm super tired. We've been on here a couple 2.5 hours or so, and
yeah, it was a crazy 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that was way more intense than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to talk about the arraignment, and I'm like, oh my god,
boring. And then literally
that video he dropped while we were live, out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I wasn't really expecting that. But
I mean, I'm just waiting for like tomorrow. There's gonna be like Cavalcante, where there's gonna be like a manhunt for this guy, like in the streets of fucking Boston. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Anyway.
All right. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right. Christmas.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Good night, guys. Merry Christmas. I am glad everybody came and hung out for a little while, and we'll be live tomorrow. I am going to go over some of the receipts in the Grandma Sherry situation, kind of explain what's going on, because I didn't do anything wrong to her at all. So never took anything from her, never took any money from her, nothing like that. So anyways, we'll get to the bottom of it, but I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas. And Heels in the Air is live right now. If you guys need something to watch, I'll probably pop over there for a little while and say hey. But anyhow, I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.